Let me talk to you about the best personal lines of credit to actually pay off credit card debt this year. So here are the top lenders I want you to really pay attention to. If you are trying to pay off credit card debt, you want to really think about PNC Bank. Okay, PNC Bank has a great offer for you in terms of APR. On top of that, you are actually you are guaranteed to actually you can be approved real fast. You want to have let's say a FICO score minimum of 600 to actually qualify for a PNC bank loan that allows you to pay off credit card debt. Now, PNC doesn't really give you that much money in terms of credit card, like in terms of debt consolidation loan, because you are actually the maximum here is $25,000. So the loan amount goes from 1,000 all the way to $25,000. So 1,000 to $25,000. So if you have, let's say, multiple credit cards to consolidate, you want to think about PNC Bank. And PNC Bank is kind of cool because it allows you to, I mean, they will approve you real fast, but you want to have a relationship with PNC Bank. So in other words, if you have a PNC checking account, the line of credit can actually serve as a overdraft protection. Okay, so the line of credit here goes from 1,000 to 25,000. It's not a loan; it's a line of credit, and you can actually use this line of credit to pay off credit card debt, but also other purchases, other expenses. Just be aware that with PNC Bank, there is an annual fee of $50 every single year that this line of credit is actually open. Okay. And so the draw period here is continuous. So with PNC Bank, you have the possibility to do things continuously. What are the pros and cons here? If you think about PNC as a personal line of credit to pay off credit card debt, you have a auto pay discount. So if you have a PNC bank account, you have a 0.25 points discount. That's really good. And you have an overdraft protection process for a linked PNC checking account. And you do have a continuous draw period. On the flip side, PNC Bank is not available in all states. There is an annual fee, and you also have a low maximum credit line amount, 25,000. So 25,000 is kind of cool, but if you are trying to consolidate more debt, then PNC Bank is definitely not the lender for you. If you're looking for the best personal lines of credit to pay off credit card debts, I want you to consider US Bank this year. And with US Bank, the cool thing here is that US Bank actually will approve you within 24 to 48 hours. And similar to a PNC Bank, US Bank is cool if you already have a relationship with this bank, okay? And so a US Bank personal line of credit might be an excellent choice for you. If you are let's say you are already a customer with, and you have, let's say, a checking account or savings account, and you gotta have a FICO score that goes from 620 to 680, 620 to 675, 680. Okay, and unlike PNC Bank, US Bank doesn't charge an annual fee, and so that's really good. They don't charge $50 or $25. No, no, there is no fee for this line of credit, so you can use the line of credit to actually pay off credit card debt, and you also have a continuous draw period. Okay, the line of credit amount goes from $100 all the way to $25,000. So this is kind of similar to the line of credit limit that PNC Bank also has. So actually, there is a fee for a cash advance. If you take the cash advance at the ATM, you'll be paying 4% of the withdrawn amount. Okay, so overall, when you think about U.S. Bank, think about a competitive starting APR. You can actually use a line of credit as overdraft protection, and also you have a continuous draw period. Okay, but you gotta have a U.S. Bank checking account. So when it comes to U.S. Bank, this is not a national bank. This is a regional bank. So you have to be in the states. You have to be in the geography that U.S. Bank covers. In terms of APR, you are looking at 12% all the way to 23%, 22, 23%. So this is actually in that ballpark, okay? But yeah, this line of credit is not available in all states. So that's a possibility you have to really consider before actually going with a U.S. Bank personal line of credit to actually pay off credit card debt. If you're looking for the best personal lines of credit to actually pay off credit card debts, I want to really introduce to you a key bank. And KeyBank is actually a good option if you have kind of similar to US Bank or PNC Bank, if you have an existing account with them. Okay. So if you have a KeyBank checking account, then you can really actually go for it. KeyBank for your personal line of credit provider. And but similar to a US Bank or PNC Bank, the maximum you can get from KeyBank is $25,000 as a personal line of credit to pay off credit card debt. Okay, so with the KeyBank, you are looking at 2,000 all the way to $25,000. Okay, and actually, there is no annual fee. So if you get a personal line of credit from KeyBank, you do not have to worry about actually paying a fee at all. Okay, but there is a late fee of $35, and there is a fee of $35 also if you have a return payment. Okay, so make sure that you have enough money in the account from which you want to on the account that you want to debit. So you also have unlimited check writing. So with this KeyBank personal line of credit, you have unlimited check writing. So that's really good because if you have multiple checks to write to sort of consolidate your credit card debt, then you will love this option too. But KeyBank, sort of similar to PNC or US Bank, is a regional bank. It is not a national player. It is a regional player. So right now, the KeyBank is available in 15 states. So you just have to make sure that you are in the one of the states where they are present. Okay, let me give you the states here. So KeyBank is actually only available in Arkansas, Colorado, Connecticut, Idaho, Indiana, Massachusetts, Maine, Michigan, New York, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Utah, Vermont, and Washington State. So if those states actually speak to you, if you are in that geography, go for it. Okay. Again, you have Arkansas, you have Colorado, Connecticut, Idaho, Indiana, Massachusetts, Maine, Michigan, New York, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Utah, Vermont, and Washington State. If you're looking for a great personal line of credit to pay off credit card debts, let me introduce you today to a Fifth Third Bank. So Fifth Third Bank is actually way generous when it comes to a line of credit because unlike PNC Bank, US Bank, and Key Bank that are just limiting you to a $25,000, Fifth Third Bank is giving you a maximum line of credit amount of $100,000. That's pretty good. Think about it. $100,000. So Fifth Third Bank could be the perfect fit if you need to cover, let's say, a large expense. However, a potential downside is that the bank evaluates an annual fee of $65 after the first year. So, granted, you are getting a maximum line of credit of $100,000, but just be aware that you have to really account for that fee. Okay. So the line of credit amount, you're looking at 2,000 all the way to $100,000. That's really good. Okay. And in terms of minimum credit score, you want to have a 575. 575, then Fifth Third Bank will consider you. And the draw period, you have a 5-year period for drawing and a 10-year period for repaying the line of credit. So you have the draw period. So there is no continuous draw. In other words, you don't have to draw and then pay and then draw again. No, no, no. With Fifth Third, you have a draw period, 5 years, and then you have a 10-year repayment period. Okay. So when you think about this lender, think about a high loan amount, think about a low APR range, right? And also you have auto pay discount. So it really does help if you have an existing relationship with Fifth Third Bank. On the flip side, consider the $65 annual fee. And also remember that the draw period is not continuous, okay? So the APR goes from 10% to 12 to 13% with auto pay. And the Fifth Third Bank is not available in all states. So Fifth Third Bank is kind of similar to PNC, US Bank, and Key Bank in terms of geography. So this is a regional bank that you have to really consider. And so it's not available nationally. So something to really think about. So if you are thinking about the best personal lines of credit to pay off credit card debt, I want you to consider this year Regions Bank. So Regions Bank is a really good bank for customer service and also for the speed at which they will approve you. So that's really good. And unlike many lenders, Regions Bank offers unsecured and secured lines of credit with high maximum credit limits. Okay, so if you are going for an unsecured line of credit, you can get a maximum of $50,000. And if you are going for a secured line of credit, the maximum you can get here is $100,000. And the cool thing is you have to secure actually the line of credit by a Regions savings account, and sometimes they will accept you if you have a brokerage account with them. Okay, brokerage or even insurance product with Regions or one of its affiliates. Okay, now if you want to really go that route, make sure you have a valid Regions savings, money market, checking, or CD account, or even the right product investment account also. Okay, but it has to be at least 6 months old because Regions has to study the account, the transactions in the account to make sure that the account is in good standing before they actually approve you. In terms of fees, there is an annual fee of $50, there is a late fee of $35, and there is an over limit fee of $29. So something to really think about. But that's kind of cool in terms of flexibility because Regions is giving you secured lines and unsecured lines. So you have flexibility there. You have large borrowing limits, and you do have rate discounts up to 0.5%, so 0.50%. Okay. On the flip side, there are late fees, there are annual fees, and Regions Bank is not available in all states, so something to really think about. Okay. And in terms of APR, you are looking at prime rate plus 5% to a prime rate plus 18%. Okay, so this is so you are looking at somewhere from 9% all the way to 27%. So I just shared with you the top 5 personal lines of credit to pay off credit card debt this year. So you can see that the amounts go from $1,000 all the way to $100,000. Let me give you some generalities here. When it comes to a personal line of credit, what you really want to think about, you want to think about a credit product that's kind of similar to a credit card, right? In the sense that you are able to tap into the limit and then repay it and then tap into it again over and over and over. It's just a lot easier to understand that when you go with a personal line of credit, whether you want to pay off credit card debt or you want to really use it for regular expenses, you want to really start with the bank with which you currently have a relationship, because lenders usually allow you to withdraw funds via a check, card, or electronic transfer to your checking account. So after you withdraw funds, you are required to make a minimum monthly payment. So it really does help to have an existing relationship with a bank so that you can really do things in a seamless manner. Okay. And so when it comes to choosing a personal line of credit, you want to first ask yourself, what are the eligibility requirements? What are the rates? Rates usually go from 7% all the way to 27%. So ask yourself what kind of ballpark you want to go, what kind of ballpark in terms of APR you want to go for. And think about the line of credit amount, okay? When comparing your options, choose a financial institution that offers your preferred maximum limit. And also pay attention to the repayment schedule. So while some lenders may give you a continuous draw period, other lenders, such as like for Fifth Third Bank, for instance, they are only allow you to borrow against the line of credit for up to 5 years, okay, and then repay over 10 years. So ask yourself which one works for you. What kind of a setup work for you, especially in the long run. So again, the when it comes to a PNC, you're looking at 1,000 to 25,000. For U.S. Bank, you're looking at 1,000 to 25,000, same amount. Key Bank, 2,000 to 25,000. Fifth Third Bank, 2,000 to 100,000, and Regions Bank has $500 to $50,000 on the unsecured side of things, and $250 to $100,000 on the secured side of things. So something you really think about. Okay. So if you're looking for the best personal line of credit to pay off credit card debt. The big question is there any other option for you to pay off your credit card debt? In other words, you are trying to consolidate debt, right? And maybe you want to get a loan, a regular loan, to pay off your credit card debt. Maybe you want to get any other product. Maybe you want to go for, you want to wait for the credit card provider to have a sale on the APR. That way, your APR will go down, okay? So using a personal line of credit might be the ideal choice if you need to cover a project that has an uncertain cost. That said, you could also withdraw funds from a line of credit for just about any legal reasons, including debt consolidation, right? Credit card, paying off credit card debts, for instance, or emergencies for that matter. Emergencies could be also a great opportunity to use a line of credit, as long as it is actually in your in the right direction for your budget. You can also think about home improvement projects, moving expenses, large purchases. So borrowing from a line of credit could also be a solution if you want to cover, let's say, a large purchase, for example, a new refrigerator, and you don't have the money to pay it upfront. Okay, but remember that when you think about personal lines of credit, you also have personal loans, you have credit cards, because there are credit cards that allow you to actually to pay off credit card debts, and those will happen. I mean, those actually will initiate a balance transfer. So that's also a possibility. And sometimes you can have a balance transfer with 0% APR for 15 to 18 months. So that's kind of cool. You also have a you also have a HELOCs, by the way. So that's home equity lines of credit. So those also can help you actually pay off credit card debt. So this is one of those things where you have to see what works for you. In addition to the criteria that the lender has, right? Some lenders will want you to have a FICO score of 600. Other lenders will want you to have a FICO score of 650 or 670. It really depends on the lender. Okay. You also have to look at the geography of the lender. As you saw a little earlier, those five players from PNC to US Bank to Key Bank to Fifth Third to Regions, they all have their geographies they cover. None of them actually has a national presence. The big national banks do not offer a personal line of credit. So when you think about when you think about the Citibank, when you think about US, when you think about Bank of America, when you think about Chase, or when you think about Wells Fargo, those big banks, those big traditional nationwide national banks, they do not actually have a personal line of credit or even a loan in some cases. So those are things you have to really think about, especially if you are trying to get a loan or a line of credit real fast. Okay, something to really think about. So overall, when you think about the best personal lines of credit to pay off credit card debt, think about the top lenders I just shared with you. So here's a coda. In today's conversation, I just explained to you the best personal lines of credit to pay off credit card debt. I give you the top lenders, the generalities, and now the extras. In terms of top lenders, you have PNC Bank, US Bank, Key Bank, Fifth Third Bank, and Regions Bank. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.